asked him, so, you know, what are we doing? Like, are we just friends? Are we dating? Like, I need to know. You haven't really made this official. Like, what are we gonna do? And he was like, well, he's like, I think we should just be friends. And I was like, what?
Welcome to our channel.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Ben.
And today we're going to be doing a video on how we met. So, it was in 2009 and we were seniors at Tempe High in Arizona. How we first seen each other was I was with my best friend Elias and we were in the library and he came up, he sat down and I was like, oh, who's this guy? And Elias introduced us. We went to the parking lot and Elias seen a girl that he liked and so he was like, oh, okay, bye, I need to go talk to her and blah blah. And so I'm like, oh my god, like how are you gonna leave me with this guy that I don't even know? So I'm like, okay, awkward. So I'm like, okay, well, okay, bye, you know. So I started walking and he was walking at the same pace with me and I'm like, okay. And then he was like, oh, so how old are you? Are you a senior? I'm like, yeah, and I'm 18. And he's like, oh, what's your name? And I told him. So I asked him what his name was, and he said Merben, which that is his federal name. And I never heard of that name before, so I was thinking in my head, like, what did he say? But I didn't want to, like, seem stupid or something and ask him, what did you say, huh? And so I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And so I kept walking. I would always see him right before school, right before we went to class. And he would always ask me, oh, so how was your weekend? Or how was your night? Then he started asking, oh, can I get your number? Or like, can you get mine? And I used to tell him, oh, no. He's like, oh, okay. But each day he would try. And then like later I like would get out of my car and I would see him standing there and I'm like, oh my god, he's there again. And so I would try and walk the other way. I'm sorry. So he tried again and he said, oh, you should get my number so we can text. And I thought, okay, I'll get his number. And so I had my phone, so he was telling me his number and I had thought like, oh, I'm just gonna like pretend like, you know, I'm getting his number down, but I'm really not. But then I was thinking, what if he asked me like, oh, okay, so like text me so I have your number. And then I like did a whole different number. And so I saved his name as a dot. I don't know if I didn't know your technical name. I don't know if that was around the time that I even asked my friend your name. So I text him and I was like, oh, hey, this is Andrea from school. So what are you doing? And then he texts back and he was like, hey, and he was like, I'm going to court. And I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be talking to this guy. But do you want to put your little disclaimer of why you were going to court?
I got a ticket for speeding, and that's the reason why I had to go to court.
Yeah, so I told him good luck. We texted a few times after that. Around the time, I believe it was gonna be winter break, I had went up to Prescott to visit family. Text him the whole time. We talked on the phone, and he told me, oh, we should, you know, go to lunch after school when we go back to school. And so I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Went back to school and I was all excited and I was like, you know, it's kind of like a first date type of deal. So,
This gets juicy.
So, yeah, so it was the day. And we each got out at, I believe it was like at 12, right around lunchtime because we didn't have a fourth period. Got out, I went to my car and I was waiting by my car like, okay, he's gonna come, we're gonna talk about, okay, where should we go? I'm waiting and I see him walk by. He gets in his car and I'm like, okay. And so he like literally drives by, looks at me, and then he's like, and then keeps going. And I'm like, okay. So I text him and I was like, I thought we were like gonna hang out, like what the hell? And then he texted me and he was like, oh, come to my house, here's the address and we can hang out. And so I went to his house and we hung out for a while. We talked, we got to know each other more. And then after that, we like hung out all the time. We became really close and I met his family. And then, but we never made it like official. Like he never said, "Oh, will you be my girlfriend?" Or we didn't have a date of when we officially started dating or nothing. We were at his house hanging out, and I asked him, "So, what are we doing? Like, are we just friends? Are we dating? Like, I need to know. You haven't really made this official. Like, what are we gonna do?" And he was like, I think we should just be friends." And I was like, "What?" I was like, all this time, all my time and effort, like I literally like fell for him like quick, and then he's like, "No, we should just be friends." And yeah, and so I was like, okay, that's cool, I'm cool with that. And then I went home. I was so mad. I almost started crying. I told my dad about everything, and I was like, "How could you do this to me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm so stupid." And then after that, he basically regretted it, and he texted me 20,000 times. He called me over and over. We went to school the next day, and he was like, "We should talk. Let's talk about it. That's not what I meant." So we talked about it. We cleared it up, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And then ever since then, we've been together. So that's my little story of how we met and how it all went down in the DM. So now he's going to tell his perspective of how we met, what he thought of me, and so forth.
So yeah, just my expectations going back to Tempe High were graduate high school with my friends. I met this person, Elias. We played basketball together in PE, had some fun. One day, went to the library and Elias was there, and his friend was there, her. And I was asking like, "What's her name?" He's like, "Oh, that's Andrea." I'm like, "Oh, you gotta hook me up, you know?" So I go up to her and I'm like, "Hey, let me get your number." Give her the eyes, the smile. And I gave her my number. So yeah, we talked over winter break. It was amazing. It was fun. We were in the parking lot after school. I was kind of more in a rush. I wasn't thinking more like, hey, let's go to this place. My head was more towards like, my room is dirty. I did not clean it that morning. Clean up my room, made sure I smelled good. So yeah, she came over and we had a blast. We got to know each other more. One day, she had asked me a question of like, where do we stand? Like, are we friends or what's going on? And I was like, do you know what? Felt like my gut was like saying, let's be official. But for some reason, I just said friends. And so she was like, for real? That night didn't go so well. So yeah, I was texting, calling like 10,000 times. So we were back in school, and I'm like, I gotta talk to her face to face. Went up to her before my second period class, and I'm like, hey, do you have some time to talk after school? She's like, yeah. Where do you want to meet? And so I'm like, anywhere we can just talk. We decided to go to Kiwanis Park, and it was kind of quiet at first, and I just had that gut feeling like she's the one. She means a lot, and it's gonna mean a lot to me in the future. And I can see myself with her. I believe it was sunset too.
Yeah,
it was just like the right timing. She looked at me, I looked at her. Then we decided that we would be official, and I believe I got a kiss. I don't think I did, but I might have. But yes, I know it was special that day, that sunset. Yeah. And so after that, things became right, and we were official. And I thank God and my gut feeling that
Really?
That's how I really felt.
So that's our video on how we met from his point of view, from my point of view. I want to say that we're very, very thankful for everyone who has been watching our videos and who has subscribed and likes our videos. So if you have any video requests, challenges, talk video, if you want to know more about us, anything, just comment down below. Let us know and we'll gladly do it.
Subscribe, like our page, give us a thumbs up. We love you guys. We appreciate it.
I just want to say that we are going to be vlogging about him getting his nails done. That is coming. So stay tuned for that. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thirsty.
Okay, come back. Come back. Fun. Ba, ba, ba.